Yo, 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 what's good, what's good, what's good? You are now watching Juke Boy Sports Show. I am your host, Kyng Ralph. Feeling a little bit under the weather, so if it's drip from my nose, it's just fixed. Uh, Gonna fight through it. We'll feel a little achy, but we're feeling good. Life's good. Life's good. Hope everybody's doing good out there at TV land. Take a little swig of water. Okay, let's get to it. All right. Like I always do, if you're looking for a clean, no crash, genderless energy drink, go on dubby.com, w.com, use promo code 20% off, and then make sure whatever you're from, whether it's YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, just make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. Subscribe on Juke Network on YouTube. Follow us at Juke Network on Facebook. Follow me at KYNGRALPH. And then make sure you follow us anywhere that you get your audio podcast, whether it's Spotify, Apple, Google Podcasts, whatever it is. We got you. And so, let's get it. So it's official. Travis Hunter has officially been tabbed the wide receiver 2 is CB4. What's the likelihood Travis is off rookie year and defense rookie year? I think that it can happen, but we're gonna give credit to the players on the field, and I think it's possible for him to win one. I give him like a 25% chance to win one. I don't really see him in both, to be honest with you. Excuse me. I do think that he'll get an opportunity to be able to secure an opportunity to get it, unless he just goes out there, gets too tired quickly, deals with injuries or whatnot. I do think that he'll get an opportunity to get a lot of snaps on offense and defense. So I think he'll get a real opportunity. I just think that the players on the field are just a little bit too good for him in offensive rookie of the year and defensive rookie of the year. So I give him a 25% chance to win at least one of them. I think being a wide receiver 2 with Brian Thomas Jr. on the other side, Trevor Lawrence, and I'll get to that in a little bit, but I think he'll get a real opportunity from an offensive standpoint to be able to make a difference. And with that type of speed, I think that from a defensive standpoint, being like CB4, I don't know if that is the best space for him to be able to really be able to get a defensive rookie. So I don't necessarily see it happening, but I could be wrong. You never know. I give him a 5% chance to win both and a 25% chance to win one. And so we got WNBA Power Rankings. It's really only, I think there's about like 10 to 12 teams in the league, so I'm really only going to do 5. And so, I always start from the bottom by way up. What's good? Thanks for popping in. Thanks for watching. Hope doing having a good day and doing good. But we got the Phoenix Mercury coming in at 5. I just think that like Storm, the Sparks, the Aces, not playing well enough to overtake the Phoenix Mercury. So I'm just going to put them at 5. I think that they're playing decent basketball. I think that once you start to get the 4 all the way up, it's a big gap between them and the rest of the league. And I think that there's a bunch of teams that are like that I just mentioned that are in the same realm, in the same tier of the league. I think that getting Brittany Sykes from the Mystics, Washington Mystics, going over Seattle Storm, I think that's gonna end up paying dividends in the end. I think that gives them a deep team to be able to really make a good stretch run, given that everybody stays healthy. But for now, the power rankings, I am going to go Phoenix Mercury at 5. I got the Indiana Fever coming off of a 5-game winning streak, doing the damn thing. Everybody's playing at a high level. CC is playing well. Elite Wilson is playing well. Um, and I just don't really see them. They're about right where I thought that they would be. The only one that surprises my number three. I thought that they would be good, but I didn't see them being this good to where the Dream Three could very well end up being a team that makes a good strong run in the playoffs. And so I do think that adding a Brittany Grinder, who still showed that she has a lot to add, Howard is a gamer, a baller. And so I think the Atlanta Dream are really surprised. They're definitely my surprise team. I thought that they would be good, but I just didn't see them being this good to where they're able to give the Liberty and the Lynx a run for their money. And so at two, I got the New York Liberty. I just think that although if I was to do a power ranking in like a week, I don't know if I'll have the Lynx up there. I'm gonna give them the the benefit of the doubt. Nafisa Collier sprained her ankle, will be out for at least 2 weeks. I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt to be able to withstand losing her, to be able to keep it afloat. Getting Dejanay, I think is low key. Cheap, to be honest with you. You get a ball hawk, someone that's a 3-and-D, energy, toughness, um, has played winning basketball, has played meaningful basketball. And so I do think that like getting that one, pairing that alongside of the future, I think that they're gonna be really good once they come back, but we'll see for the sake of this power rankings. I do have the Lynx at one. I have the New York Liberty at two. Those are my two teams right now. As much as I would love to see the Aces in there just playing basketball now, we just got blown out by the Lynx by 50. And I believe we were terrible, terrible, terrible out. And then I see the clips of Asia dancing in the hallway on the way to the court, and I'm just like, this is not helping our case. This looks terrible. But we'll see if they'll be able to figure it out. Jewel Lloyd finally had a game where she played really well after we got blown out. She had a 20-piece. And so we'll see what happens going forward with the Aces. Just right now, they're just not playing. They're in that same tier with the Seattle Storm, the Sparks, uh, and Phoenix Mercury. So we'll see what happens going forward. But that is my power rankings. I got Phoenix Mercury at 5, Indiana Fever at 4, Atlanta Dream at 3, New York Liberty at 2, and the Minnesota Lynx at 1. And so Scary Terry McLaurin having some issues as far as with his contract renegotiations, has requested a trade. Michael Parsons did the same thing. Players with most for their respective teams. And typically outside with the edge rusher because of like the position of value at that position. But I think that given how underrated Terry McLaurin is, as well as how important he is to Jaden Daniels, being a one receiver, and then a Samuels who should never be your number one, even at his peak. He's just a really good weapon. So off of Terry McLaurin, who, when it comes to contested catches, leads the league since 2019 in catches, touchdowns, and win percentage. And so I do think is going to be a little bit harder to replace, especially with the contested catches. Jaden Daniels came in, played real good football as a rookie, got to an NFC Championship game. Terry McLaurin had a lot to do with that. So I do think that although Michael Parsons is a game changer offensive end, I do think that blitz packages and if you're able to bring in someone who can get after the quarterback, I think that you can do enough to where it wouldn't really matter if you have him or not. Not to say that it's one of those things that Micah. Not to say that Micah doesn't affect football, but I think that I believe that the Commanders will have a better trajectory with Terry McLaurin than the Cowboys will have with Michael Parsons. I think if we were just talking about position value, I would understand one with Michael Parsons, but just straight up talking about the the players for what they mean to their team, I do think that Terry McLaurin is more valuable to his team's success, and losing him would lose a lot for that team, especially with the aspirations that they have going into this season, coming off of a year where they made the NFC Championship game. So I am going to go Terry McLaurin means more to his team in absence than Michael Parsons would mean to the Cowboys. It's around where I've been judging the execs, scouts, top 10 position rankings. We got top 10 course. So, all right. So they have Devin Witherspoon, who won a tiebreaker between him and Jalen Ramsey for the 10th spot. Quinton Mitchell from the Eagles at 9. Jalen Johnson at 8. J.C. Horn at 7. Christian Gonzalez at 6. Gardner at 5. Trent McDuffie at 4. Denzel Ward at 3. Derek Stingley Jr. at 2. Patrick Surtain at 1. I think if we're if we're talking about if we're doing a projection, I personally don't. I wouldn't put Stingley over Sauce like right now. Oh, I think we're gonna leave it. Let's see. I might end up. Wait, where's my plug? Did it get unplugged? It did get unplugged. Oh, I don't remember what everything is. So if it turns off, it turns off. It is what it is. But so to get back into it, I would move. I'm gonna move some stuff around here. I am gonna go. I'm gonna move Sauce to 2. I'm gonna move Stingley down to 3. Denzel Ward to 4. Trent McDuffie to 5. I'm gonna put Jalen Johnson at 6, and then the rest of everybody else down. And I'm gonna put Jalen Ramsey in at 10. I think if we were just talking about DBs and defensive backs, I would probably put Devin Witherspoon a little higher, given his versatility, what he's able to do, uh, being able to play safety, box safety, slot corner, outside corner, being a tone setter. But just strictly top 10 corner, I think that Jalen Ramsey is a better corner than him. Uh, so I am going to go Jalen Ramsey at 10, Quinton Mitchell at 9. I think that he's someone that I would expect to be a little higher on next year's list if he stays healthy. Technician, like I said, going into last season, I think if he played at Alabama or Ohio State, there would have been no questions about how high of a draft pick he should have been. Coming out of Toledo. And then J.C. Horn at 8, Christian Gonzalez at 7, Jalen Johnson at 6, Trent McDuffie at 5, Denzel Ward at 4, Stingley at 3, Sauce Gardner at 2, and Patrick Surtain at 1. I just feel like Denzel Ward is a consummate pro, very solid shutdown corner. Uh, plays tough to his size. Trent McDuffie is another at 5'8". Was a baller, a gamer, came in and made an immediate impact with the Kansas City Chiefs. Christian Gonzalez started to show promise in his rookie season and then had a ACL injury, came back and had a really good year last year. I think that Stingley and Sauce are probably going to end up fighting for that number 2 spot over the next couple years, along with Patrick Surtain. We'll see if anybody else comes into the fold. I think that Quentin Mitchell has the ability to move up higher on this list. Uh, Christian Gonzalez, I think if he's can stay healthy, can definitely move up higher on this list. But yeah, I think that's it. I think we're good. I like it. Top 10 corners. Picasso. All right, so we got left. We got the fast break. And so we got Mount Rushmore. Last week I talked about Mount Rushmores of the small forward position. So this week we're going to talk about Mount Rushmore of point guards. Off rip. Y'all probably gonna hate me for this. Well, first off, let's go into the let's go into what my criteria is. I think that when we start to talk about Mount Rushmores, I think that you have to be able to the Mount Rushmore is typically a piece of history. It would explain or tell the story of what it is for that point guard position. And that's when things get tough because like off rip, I'm gonna go Magic. I think that what Magic did for basketball in the 80s, as at the guard position, being able to play five positions, uh, the Showtime Lakers, the flair that he played with, the smile that he had, can't can't not have him on there. And then obviously I think you put Steph. I will put Steph in that Mount Rushmore as well because of the way that he played and he's changed the game to where now people are looking at Trae Young as a carbon copy. We had the Buddy Hills of the world being compared to Steph. And so I think that definitely changed the game. I don't have him as ranked high as other people would put him on a list. Like I probably, if I was really doing a top 10, I don't think I would have him in my top 10 uh, players of all time. But he's close. I'd probably put him at like 11 or 12, depending on I would my list. Just off my head, I probably would have him at 11 or 12. But when I think when we're talking about point guards, I feel like you can't have a list without or a Mount Rushmore without Steph being on it. So Magic Johnson, Steph Curry. I probably would go Jason Kidd at at the third spot because I just feel like Jason Kidd, whatever team he went to in his prime, he went there and affected change immediately. Just look at what he did with the New Jersey Nets. Think about that team if they would have been able to keep Kenyon when they got Vince. I think that definitely like his ability to affect the game without being a score first point guard is one of those things that you would have to put respect. I think that average like what did he average? And he was a quick, big, strong point guard too. So for his career, he averaged 13, 6 rebounds, and about 9 assists. But if you go and you look at like his prime, let's just go straight to with the really looking at his numbers, and then his numbers don't really tell the story of how effective and how much he affected the game. Because if you look at he got to Jersey and never averaged over 10 assists a game until his final year. So he averaged about 15 and 9. He did about, well, he was a little short of 10 in that first season. 9.9 assists, 14.7 points. Next year, he had 18.7, 8.9 assists, 9.2 and 15.5 points per game. And the thing about him is with his size and strength and nose for the ball, he was always going to get you about 5 to 7 rebounds, 6 rebounds a game, along with that 15 points and that damn near 10 assists with 6 rebounds. And be able to start the fast break, being able to pass like he had eyes on the back of his head, starting to break, alley oops. Um, Before we had Carolina City with Jason King, what he was doing. Um, and so I do think that his importance to the history of the game, you can't leave it out. And then this last spot is where I think that this is where it's tough because this is where you could put a Bob Cousy. You could put Isaiah Thomas, John Stockton with his assists and steals. Don't know if those two records will ever be broken. But I do think that, like, I don't know, man. For me personally, I'm going to go Zeke. I always give a lot of praise to Isaiah Thomas, what he was able to do being a small guard, quick, translates eras. He's a little small for now's time period with how big point guards are nowadays. But I still believe that his quickness and ability to get his shot off, yeah, that translates no matter what. And just the mental toughness that, which is something that gets questioned with a lot of players nowadays. So my Mount Rushmore is Magic Johnson, Steph Curry, Jason Kidd, as well as Isaiah Thomas. Let me know what you think of yours. And so Shador was officially labeled the fourth quarterback on the depth chart with Joe Flacco at 1, Kenny Pickett at 2, Dylan Gabriel at 3, Shador at 4, and then they bring in Tyler Huntley for issues with Gabriel and Pickett both pulling hamstrings. And so preseason 1 is reported by NFL.com that Shador is going to start. And this is his opportunity. I think that when really all you can really ask is an opportunity to put game film. And I'm going to talk about another back where we chill out and let game film do its thing. I think in the end, the tape doesn't lie. And we can sit here, we can dissect all these quotes and clips that they're posting on the internet and social medias, how the players are interacting versus what we see through others, look at stats. Because honestly, if you look at the stats, there's some other stats between all quarterbacks. I think he has the most touchdowns thrown. Oh, yeah, that's gross. But he has the most touchdowns and the least amount of interceptions. I think he has the best passer rating as well. Now, mind you, he could be going up against 2s and 3s when it comes to the depth chart. So you do kind of got to take that into some kind of consideration. But I think that getting an opportunity to start, be able to get live football, live bullets, dodge those bullets, and be able to push the ball down the field, he'll at least be able to show what he has to offer. And sometimes all it really takes is an injury of some sort that'll get you your opportunity. If he goes out there and looks incredible, at some point we got to start to have the conversation of where are we going from here. And so with my last one, actually, no, I got 2 more. Caleb Williams, I was watching when I was gathering my topics earlier. I was looking, and there was people saying that Caleb Williams had the most to prove. First off, with that contract and just being complete mid, not matching the hype, Trevor Lawrence definitely has the most to prove. He's getting paid an abnormal amount of money to be as average as he is, or extraordinary amount of money for as average as he is. He has weapons. They've invested in weapons for him. Now it's time to do something with it. Like, you can't just let CJ Stroud come in after you and control the division. It's just, So to me, Trevor Lawrence has the most to prove. But Caleb Williams, chill out. Bears fans, football fans, chill out. Who cares about how he paid his nails? I don't understand why that's a topic of conversation. Who cares because if he goes out there and goes 14-3 this year, we're not going to be talking about his color or the fact that he paints his nails later in the season. So I do think that people need to chill out, give the kid an opportunity to put some game tape out. They got a new coach. The coach is supposed to be an offensive genius, and let's see what they do going forward. But he didn't have a terrible year last year. He was sacked a lot. Some of it his fault. Some of it that offensive line was just trash. But 20 touchdowns, I think about 6 interceptions. And so I think that Joe Thomas, he has weapons. DJ Moore, Roman Dunze, they bring in Luther Burden, draft Love, and they have Cole Kmet. They have plenty of weapons at his disposal, and they boosted that offensive line. So I think in the end, we'll be fine, or they'll be fine, because I'm from Chicago, but I'm a Raiders fan. Bruh, this Vicks has got my nose running. Might have to leave and go catch it. And so, as a Raider fan, got to talk about them. They made a trade that at first did not make sense. We're trading a person who was a starter. Now, I'm not going to sit here and act like he was prime Charles Woodson or Nnamdi Asomugha. Like, he was a very good starter. So trading him did kind of give me like, what you mean by that? But in hindsight, really looking at it, getting a Thomas Booker who didn't get a lot of opportunities playing for that Eagles team with a very talented defense and defensive line. I do think that they'll. I don't see them trading Bennett for this person and then not keeping him. So I think he'll get an opportunity to at least be a DT2. Unless people get hurt, then he might get real opportunity. But I do think that he'll get an opportunity to show what it is. But I think this move here with the injury that we just dealt with, I forget the guy's name, but one of our defensive tackles just is in a walking boot now. So now this trade makes more sense. And so in the end, we'll see. I have a little bit more faith. I'm giving Pete Carroll and the crew the benefit of the doubt that they know what they're doing. So let's just see how it goes. But in the end, I think the more you know, the more you understand. The injury factor, knowing that he was going to be a quarterback 2 or quarterback 3, if not a slot corner, and they questioned whether or not he could be a slot corner. I think that that's one reason why you pull the trigger while trying to get a position of need. And so thank you all for watching. I do got to get up out of here. Like I mentioned before, make sure you like, subscribe, comment, share, all that good stuff. Thank you all for popping in. If you're here, say what up. But make sure you hit that subscribe button at Juke Network on YouTube. Hit that follow button on Twitch at KYNGRALPH. Follow us at Juke Network as well, JUK Network on Facebook. You can follow me at KYNG on Twitch, Instagram, TikTok. Add an underscore for X on Twitter, and you can follow us at Juke Sports Show on Instagram, as well as Juke Sports Show on anywhere where you get your audio-only podcast, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. I got to get up out of here. A little under the weather. I got the Vicks and Mocos is looking crazy. I look wild. Sorry, y'all. But hope y'all feeling better than I am. But I'm out. Peace.